What started out slowly as a sour feeling in my chest had suddenly become unbearable. I passed through the coughing stage seconds before, the gagging stage just before that, and the vomiting stage just at the end of all of it. The cold stone wall to my back not only soothed and cooled my body, but served as my only means for maintaining anything vaguely related to a vertical stance. My legs began to quiver beneath my weight until I managed to lock my knees into position using one hand while the other one fumbled a crumpled pack of first-class cigarettes. Time was not an issue, or even a concern, yet I recalled casting an eye towards a cheap watch tightly fastened around my left wrist. 2:03 a.m. Time only reminded me of what I was doing wrong all night, as well as what I would not be doing right the following morning. Drinking too much, staying up too late, sleeping too late. I was too drunk to care at the moment. I had to drink her away. The only dame who could keep me up at night. The only dame I would ever truly love. She was gone, and there was nothing I could do about it. She was probably in the arms of some other brute right now. I clumsily removed an elephant trunk of a cigarette out of the mob of crumpled paper and fished a lighter out from one of my pockets. It was a good smoke. Not all cigarettes are good. The first few cigarettes smoked out of the pack are good. The last three, delicious. All the smokes in between are like boring details of a headline news story. Or better yet, like the cheesy dialogue in a horror film. The street in the alley was coated by a pink sheet of light, emitted from a seductive neon sign that rested just above the rear entrance of the Nightingale. Somewhere off to the left, the pink street faded to blue as a familiar beer logo sign beamed through a tiny window in its own fashionable attire. Somewhere past the pink and blue tinted street lay complete absence of light, or a hard, crisp division between what the naked eye could see and what it could not see. I stood in my sloppy personal space and smoked one of my last 3 cigarettes, letting the smoke curl and weave through the air, caressing the edges of the brim of my hat. Beyond the cherry red door of the Nightingale, a rumbling rhythm pulsated and chimed like the heart of some magnificent machine which pulled energy from the fading souls of the men who wasted their money and the women who shattered their dignities dancing to the beat of it all. I inhaled for the 5th time since stepping out, then exhaled for the 6th time, sending a gust of smoke-tainted breath into the alley. I studied the smoke as it unfolded, split, and then vanished in midair, only to be replaced by the next cloud. Staring through the smoke at the cherry red door, I wondered if it would serve as a means of escape in case the quiet alley became dangerous. After all, it had served as an escape hatch when I needed to get out of the bar. Doors are odd in a way. Some doors contain safety, security, solitude, and other means of general comfort, while others contain pain, abuse, uneasiness, and other means of discomfort. Some doors you can enter but can't leave through. Some you can leave but can't enter into. They're basically portals into the unknown. The truth is, no one ever really knows what lies beyond each door. Sure, most people have a general idea of what lies beyond the door to their own apartment, but what about the dame who comes home from work late at night and is met face to face with a murderer, rapist, and burglar? Does she really expect to see that? Just the same, if I had trampled into the alley, right into the scene of a major drug deal and met up face to face with some big-time dealers, what would have gone through my mind? Would I have been prepared for that? I guess to be safe, one would have to gain knowledge of different types of doors and what to expect when opening them. Even then, how would he or she possibly be able to expect the unexpected? That is, unless the door was made of glass. Now, I recalled plenty of situations where I wished there'd been a glass door. At least then I would have had a choice. The smoke from my last exhale faded into wind as I stared at the cherry red door, wondering exactly what kind of door it was. Would it let me back inside if I needed to get in? Would there be some random act of violence inside if I chose to casually walk back inside? Sure, these were hypothetical questions, but sometimes when compared to reality, a hypothetical question might appear to be quite accurate. Imagine a customer who gets nailed or even shot by some armed assassin while walking into a gas station just to pick up some smokes. It happens. And it has happened. It will continue to happen. Call it paranoia if you want, but I always check out a service station before walking in. If you're blessed with the ability to see through walls, you better take advantage of it. The same goes for any door. I wondered, though, if anybody ever been shot in the eye while peeping through one of those doors with a small window in them. I'm sure it's been written somewhere, in some town on some unfortunate guy's tombstone. Here lies Shorty, a once skittish guy, died at age 40, shot in the eye. I pulled on my cigarette for the third hit. Third hit's a charm, I mumbled to myself in my drunken stupor. I'd been careless all night. I'd drank too much liquor. I'd killed one too many brain cells. I'd spent far too much of my hard-earned cash and wandered into some dark alley without even bothering to look to the right. I did that just as the thought hit me. Just beyond the safety of the pink haze, the set of eyes which had been fixed on me ever since I carelessly staggered out slowly began to approach me. My eyes began to focus on the figure in the pitch-black layer of darkness, with the hairs on my arms and the back of my neck standing like the fur on a frightened feline. I sobered quickly and closed the path between myself and the ever-present cherry-red door. It didn't even have a handle on it. How foolish was I to lower my guards? What was I thinking? I screamed and clawed at the door as the first blow cracked my skull and sent me hurtling sideways onto the filthy, narrow pavement. The second crushed my face and jumbled my senses. The neon pink lady on the sign above me danced and flickered in and out of existence as I drifted in and out of consciousness. The third blow knocked me out of my body, and I watched shocked and hopeless as the crouching figure fished my last $3 from my wallet and disappeared back into the shadows. So what was the purpose of my life? I stood and stared in disbelief at my bloody corpse and wondered how long it would be before someone found me. It was too soon. I had so much more that I wanted to do in life, or even try to do. I paced back and forth, furious at myself for being so careless, and I fixated on finding the sick bastard who killed me and finding some way to ruin his life. I just couldn't let it go. I refused to move on. I will spend eternity seeking my revenge. I have haunted this alley ever since.